Good morning. I thought that I would do a little morning smoothie routine video and also tell a funny story while I'm doing this. So today we are going to do a peanut butter chocolate banana smoothie, which should be delicious. They usually are. And the story is that, so early on in my transition, I had an account on Grindr. I was very, very twink, because early in my transition. And I saw my dad on there, and he had, pictures of himself on there. And for the longest time, up until recently, so this has been almost 10 years ago now. Well, it's been 8 years. But so up until recently, I thought that he was just on there trying to creep on me and see what I'm up to and all that. But I talked to my girlfriend about that, and she was like, well, if he was on there to creep on you, then why did he have pictures of himself on there? Because he could have just left his profile completely blank and favorited yours and been able to see you and yeah. And that it's mind blown. Is my dad so homophobic because he's gay and closeted? That kind of would make sense, based on some of the other things that that were said and all of that. But it's just crazy. Dude, just accept yourself. Life gets a lot easier if you do. Aw, what are the odds? So we've got 3 bananas, a quarter to a third of a container of yogurt, 2 heaping scoops of protein powder, some good quality peanut butter, which I just kind of dump in there. I don't measure it because it's kind of too much of a pain. And the flavor's strong enough that yeah, protein, but also I'm kind of doing it for flavor. And then chocolate syrup, which I typically end up having to add more because I'm afraid of putting too much in there in the first place. And then extra creamy Planet oat milk. I almost always end up making too much. And so then I have to be like, hey Penelope, drink a bunch of this real quick before we leave. Perfect. And if I remember right, these have, like this specific smoothie ends up having like 55 grams of protein. I might be a little bit off. But yeah, I mean, this is like what we do for breakfast, basically, most of the time. On like work weekdays. It just makes it really easy. And that is the smoothie routine, along with a story about how my dad is probably gay. And honestly, it's 2025, bro. Like, it's okay. It's just sad. So I unplugged that. And then this will get washed after I take Penelope to work. And it's a good day. So have a good day.